Hello and welcome to Jimmerish FM. This is James speaking, and we're continuing a small series of one-on-one interviews as part of the testing procedure for this project, because I have no idea how to use this equipment and I have to learn. Today we have with me Bree.
Hi.
Do you give out your last name on the internet, or do you like people stalking you?
It's okay.
Yeah?
Bree Morrow.
Bree Morrow. She's a local paramedic in Western Australia.
Actually, I can't say I'm a paramedic.
Oh, really?
I'm still an
She's
ambulance
an up-and-coming ambulance officer. But are you a paramedic in training, or you just an ambulance
but my
officer?
official title is ambulance officer.
Oh, okay. So is paramedic like the N word for black people? Is that like
Once I graduate, I'll be a paramedic.
Oh, okay, I see. I know how all these words are like really sensitive now. Like,
I can't claim that I'm something I'm not.
Like they're called in Transformers. Bree came with us to Transformers, as you might recognise it from the mocast we did before the show. And one of the Transformers was called Skids, and that's like worse than the N-word now. And
The N-word?
they reckon it's racist, yeah.
What's the N-word?
You don't know the N-word? I can't even say it because you get shut off the internet if you say it.
A racist term?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
So
yeah,
what
they
does
had,
Skids
well, you know, one of those
describe?
robots, he was like kind of like a rapper, and he's called Skids.
Oh.
And that's like, I can't even believe I'm saying it because it's so rude, but they reckon
So
that's...
it's because they're dark-skinned?
Yeah, and because, you know, like a skid mark on a toilet, like...
Oh, that's so far-fetched. I wouldn't have even thought that was...
Yeah, I know, but you have to be careful what you say now.
Oh, okay. Surely he's
And the other one was called...
they
They were twins, and the other one was called Mudflap. And so Mudflap because, like, the brown dirt goes onto the thing.
But that was a red and green car.
I know, but, like, that's
'Cause
what
they're
everyone's
acting like
saying, that
black
they should take the
rappers.
movie off the air because it's
Right.
racist.
Hmm.
Because they called these guys Skids and Mudflap, and they were sort of like rappers, two rapper guys, and they were rapping because they're like kind of like stereotypes of black people, apparently. You know,
Yeah,
I say that with
that.
you know, air quotes or whatever they do.
Okay.
So
Learn
yeah,
something new every day.
so I thought maybe paramedic was like one of those words, like
I don't think it's offensive like that.
yeah,
I just think you can't say you're a doctor when you're only a medical student.
yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't even say I'm like a training paramedic.
I'm training to be a paramedic.
Yeah.
I can say that.
Cool.
I finished my training actually. I'm just waiting to be given the official title
Oh,
and the
really?
money and the paycheck.
So do you have to do like, you know, a certain amount of experience, kind of like lawyers have to do like a year?
Yeah, we have it's 4 years of study or 3 years of study, and then the last year is supposed to be an internship period. But basically, we're just waiting around until they decide they need us to fill spots on seats.
Okay. Now, it's interesting that we've got you on the air, and we're doing an interview, and this is very informal. We're just seeing if the computer can handle recording, all this kind of stuff. And but you know, I'm a hard-hitting journalist, so
Of course.
I did
of
some
course.
important research,
Oh, I'm scared.
and you know, which is totally unorganized because I emailed myself when I was half asleep last night, and then I haven't even looked at it since. But I'm just going to download that from my email. So what have you been up to?
Well, today I went to court.
And now, are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, case is done and over. And
Has someone been sentenced?
she was convicted. I don't know that she was sentenced. She was just
Because you know, if you
fined.
talk about it, I think
But I think
you
it's
can
only
be
if
the
the
case
case is
can be
still running.
dismissed.
Well, the case has been
So
resolved.
she put a
already.
hammer down on her.
They didn't use a hammer though. Yeah, I was expecting it to be a bit more dramatic and a bit more like on TV,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was yeah, it's kind of everyday and a bit ordinary.
Yeah. My mum is a magistrate,
Oh,
and when she started, they gave her a hammer, but you're not allowed to use it.
why?
And you're not even allowed to call her Your Honour now outside of court or something. In court, you have to call her that, or Your Worship. Probably not Your Worship. I don't know what they called
Right.
people. Did you have to say that?
I didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
I just answered questions that I was asked, and
And you had to draw a diagram, apparently,
I had to
live.
draw a really bad diagram on the whiteboard.
They said,
Now, you know
please
if
draw a
someone
really bad
asks
diagram.
you- or someone asks for directions and you say, okay, I'll draw you a map. And then the map ends up looking like a dog's breakfast and there's lines going everywhere. Basically, I did that in a courtroom in front of a magistrate, lawyers, police officers, and I just made a mess of it on the whiteboard. I'm not good at drawing diagrams.
Was it intense to take? Was it awkwardly long time to draw? Like everyone
It
was
was
waiting for you
awkward
to do it?
because they're like, so what road is that? Can you draw the lines in? And I'm like, well, this is the freeway and then this is the off-ramp and this is where I was going. And at the end I was like, sorry about the diagram. And no one else was laughing.
So do you think like going to court is kind of like going to be a regular thing as an ambulance officer?
I hope not. It's a bit scary. I'm glad it was for something very minor initially. Like if you go like something.
So it wasn't about something
that
that you attended. It was more about something you witnessed.
No, I was just because I was driving the ambulance and it was a traffic incident involving my ambulance. So yeah, it would have been a bit more full on if it was like a murder scene or like an assault or something.
Yeah. Do you attend murder scenes?
We do. I mean, I haven't personally because there's not that many in Perth, thank God. But as an ambulance, if there's a person who's dead, we go there and say, yes, this person's dead. I was working with this, I wasn't working with him, but at the same station as this guy who was at a murder scene. This husband stabbed his wife to death. And there was, I don't know if I can say that actually, but he did something really weird at the murder scene.
Yeah.
Like the murderer, and he was still there when
Allegedly.
the ambulance came. The alleged murder, yeah. But I suppose I can say it if I don't mention their names, can't I? Anyway,
Yeah,
it
I
was
guess
pretty
it's
weird.
just... And no dates, because people can work out the dates.
Yeah.
Now. I know. Now I'm going to see if my thing's download. Apparently there's going to be a Four Corners special coming up that's delving deep into WA paramedics about how it's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
That the WA ambulances are poorly equipped.
Right.
Do you feel that
have
your
done your
ambulances are
research.
poorly equipped?
See, I might get myself into trouble for commenting on this. Our ambulances are...
That's why I'm saying you shouldn't give out your name. You should just like beat that out
Maybe we should.
But you have an
the
opinion,
ambulances
right?
are well equipped for what the jobs that we respond to
Mm.
and the cases that we go to. There are certain pieces of equipment that some officers feel that we don't have, which we should have, which would make us better equipped to deal with certain situations. But I believe that at the moment we respond efficiently and for most of the time help people when they need it. So that's the main thing, I guess. Was that enough politically correct to get me out of trouble? Yeah, it's going to be a big...
So what kind of situation... So would this enable people to attend different kinds of extra situations that they wouldn't... Fire crews would have to go to?
We still go to the same calls. I guess some of the incidences are in regards to like our treatment of children. We can't do a lot of treatment at the moment. And in some other services they do. They give more medications or can give them fluids or that sort of thing. At the moment, our medical director doesn't allow us to do that. And we just drive them to hospital really fast. Yeah. Which, some might see as not being the best treatment available. But yeah, it's not up to me to make that decision.
But so you feel safe, like you don't feel like, oh crap, I'm like driving this thing that could like kill more people than it saves? No,
it's not a situation like that at all. Like the ambulances are really good. They're quite new and they're kept up to date all the time.
Yeah, they've taken those old cool ones off the road.
The Fords, they're all there's a few out in the country still. But,
have you ever got to drive one of those?
No.
Didn't have them at training camp, right?
No.
Do you do any cross training, like with that fire brigades, like you train together?
We have the fire brigade has a hot fire grounds out in Forestfield or somewhere that we go and do a few days training with them, which is really good. Like we pretend that we're stuck in cars and they cut the cars open and get us out. And
do you have any buddies in the fire brigade? Like you see them out on the road and go, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, like we end up knowing a couple of faces. Like we have an emergency 000 party the fire department puts on, and we sometimes meet a few people there, and we meet them around the place. But
because I remember there's used to be that show on TV called Third Watch, and it used to be its hook, as I've been led to believe, is that it was about the police, the fire, and the ambulance crews all together.
I think in some places they work more closely together than we do here. In Melbourne, for example, the fire brigade will respond to cardiac arrest cases. Over here, it's completely different. We go to the same car accidents, but other than that, we don't work very closely with them.
Oh, okay. Oh. Last week, Michael Jackson died.
Yes, he
and
did.
I presume a lot of ambulance crew came to his house. Have you ever been in that situation like, oh my God, I may be responsible for this really famous person's life?
I don't think I've ever been to anyone famous.
Do you know the people who went to Chris Mainwaring?
I did at the time. I don't remember now who they were, but I remember hearing that these people went to them. I think 2 crews went to Chris Mainwaring. One crew, and then
did they know who he was, or they
got
just thought he was
sent
some
away.
guy?
Yeah, I think they knew who he was.
That would be like pretty intense.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's always intense, really. Like,
actually, I went to.
But you feel like you're responsible. Oh, really?
Yeah. That was interesting.
Are you allowed to say that?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. We should scrap that too. I've been to a famous politician's parent.
I should get a lawyer to come listen to
I
this.
know. See, I don't know what I should say. But I haven't really been to anyone particularly famous.
Yeah. But do you think that... what would happen like if you turned up at like Michael Jackson? You like...
I think if it's an emergency, it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I think you just still do your job.
You don't feel extra pressure because like millions of fans of the world would be like really angry if you accidentally like...
Yeah.
killed him, although he's already dead.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, if you met him in any ordinary circumstances, I think it'd be really freaky. You'd be like, oh, what do I say? What do I do? But if you're in an ambulance, obviously, you're like,
have
okay,
to
I'm
give
here to help
mouth-to-mouth
you.
resuscitation to Michael Jackson, and like, is his mouth plastic? I don't know.
Oh yeah, we don't do mouth.
Maybe you don't have to use those little things because his mouth is already shaped from the plastic.
I don't know if we could say that now that he's gone.
Can we? Oh, that's a really bad joke.
Yeah, maybe
it's too early.
But yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to be involved in like a Chasers type scandal here. Oh dear.
It's in America though. There's no jurisdiction. You can say what you want.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe his face was plastic. I don't know.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing I was going to ask you about was some of my because I do filmmaking. I meet makeup artists and they show like everyone I've seen have shown me all these photos of days where they've gone to work with like the emergency service where they do pretend wounds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For these like battle scenes that they try to recreate and then they do a team training, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, we had an exercise at the airport recently. It was called a Raptor exercise. It was just when those boat people got blown up and they were being flown down, and we had an exercise. Basically, the fire crews, ambulance, police, airport.
Oh, was that that photo you're showing me?
No,
or was that a real situation?
That was the actual boat people coming.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Probably not. But the exercise at the airport, we had like real patients, or pretend real patients that had been made up, and they've got like bones sticking out and injuries all makeup artisted on. Yeah,
Bryony's sister, she was one of those people that volunteered and had to get the wounds on them. It was like a gas explosion, something.
Yeah, well, there's a plane crash, but yeah.
I mean, the situation she was in.
Oh, okay, a different day. Yeah. Yeah, that's always fun. Get to work with the other services.
Did you go out to Pierce Air Force Base?
No, it was just at the
Perth
domestic.
Yeah.
No, it was international.
I went out to that Pierce Air Force Base for one of the open days, and they had this they've got this old 747 out there that's just like old one, and just sits there for training. Like I guess the SAS needed to learn how to storm it in case a terrorist takes over.
Well, that's what they've got the back of the international, or was it domestic airport as well?
Oh, they said an
like
old
a broken plane.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they've got like in the middle like this sort of structure, concrete and cement and tin and stuff they can set off fire to sort of practice putting it out.
Oh really? Have you ever gone to Garden Island?
Once, yeah, and they've got these animals over there. I don't know what they are. But you're not allowed to run over them. But there's heaps of them everywhere. So if you're going on a priority... No, they're not quokkas, but they're like a little marsupial type thing. And if you're going on a priority to like a job where you lights and sirens going as fast as you can, you've got to slow down for these animals because they're endangered and they're protected. And if you run them over, it's like a really expensive fine.
Oh, really?
And they're all over the road.
So you're like swerving.
Well, you just got to drive really slow and like get out of the way.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that it was like infested with some kind of... animal. Maybe that's what Rottnest would be like if they had more cars over there. You'd be like, oh no, not the quokka.
Yeah.
So did you get to see any of their training equipment over there?
No.
Garden Island, for anyone who's not from Perth, is like the main naval base on the west side of Australia. So it's
classified,
it defends.
Isn't it? You can't really just go over there.
No, I've never been over there. I
No.
tried to, and they're like, "You can't come over here."
Yeah, it's almost like going into prison.
But you went over there.
I went over there on an ambulance to respond to a job.
Oh, really?
Mm.
So you went over the causeway?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was a little bit scary actually. I don't really like going over water. And
yeah, the island is connected to the mainland by a big, like a causeway bridge, and
it's not
it's a
very
bit weird
wide.
having going out to an island over like a really long bridge.
And they've got their own ambulance there.
Oh yeah.
They've got like an internal ambulance service, and
I've seen on like TV shows they've got this big submarine training facility where they, they've got these big tanks where they fill it up with water and people have to try and escape out of it because it's like escaping from a submarine.
yeah, I knew a guy once who actually does helicopter training.
Oh yeah.
And if you
Is he a helicopter pilot?
Sorry?
Is he a helicopter pilot or he
No,
helps
he's a
support
fireman,
it?
but he works. He also does training for people who go and work at the mines out at sea. If you go by helicopter, you have to do this helicopter training, and they submerge a helicopter upside down
Like
in
an
a
oil
pool or
platform.
something, and you have to try and get out.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the oil rigs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, like, that's nuts. Like, what if people don't get out? But they've got all these safety measures in place so that nothing bad happens.
A friend of the family is I don't know if he still is, but he's a firefighter at airports, and he worked at Perth Airport for a while, and they have these big trucks that he took me on a ride once, and they have a big cannon on the top, so they can just like storm into like
they're
a
massive.
plane crash scene, and like they have like I don't know, water pistols and water on the wheels,
Water guns,
on tires, so that tires don't melt, so they're like keeping the tires wet as they storm through this like battle scene or something like
They're
that.
the biggest trucks I've ever seen in fire crews, like the airport ones.
That's intense.
We deal with them sometimes. We go to airport jobs and they're always the first responders, even if it's just like a sick person on the plane.
Oh, really?
The airport trucks will come up to the plane and park and then come up and give them oxygen and stuff.
So you've had to go on planes
there.
before? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was that weird?
It is weird because they put you up on this...
I never because I don't think I've ever been next to a big plane.
Everyone freaks out, right? Because there's
it's
a
so
big plane
Yeah.
and then an ambulance and fire trucks come up to the plane and everyone in the terminal is looking out the window freaking out. And they put us up on this, like, what do you call that when it's a forklift but with a platform?
Yeah, like where they put the food onto the plane.
Yeah, so like I'm on this platform.
So they put the whole ambulance on them?
No, just us with the
Oh, okay,
stretcher.
yeah.
But I freak out with heights and I didn't like it at all. And then there's no room to get the stretcher in between the plane
Do they turn the
aisles.
engines off, or is it really noisy?
No, the engines are off,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Is that weird being next to a big plane? Like, 'cause normally you see them up top at an airport. You don't.
Yeah, I guess
I guess a couple of times I've been to airports
the
where they've
first
run
time.
out of places to fit the plane into the airport, so you have to
And
go
you
out
just
and you have
walk
to get into a
down.
bus.
Yeah,
or
and
something,
if
like
you're a
bus.
real cheap plane, like Jetstar, and you get off, you walk off the plane and then across
okay.
the tarmac.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that? Really cheap.
Have you been on Jetstar? Yeah. No, you can say stuff like that. That's just an opinion. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like stuff with court cases, like court cases are getting thrown out if you've talked about it while it's still going.
Nah, it's all finished.
But like, even if maybe they come back, they have a different day for the sentencing. Like, if the magistrate listened to this podcast, and that might influence their decision on how long they sentence that person for, or how much they fine them for. It could.
Wow, this could be pretty influential radio then.
Yeah. There's the unlikely chance that anyone listens to my podcast. But I think we're pretty lucky having an ambulance officer coming in to talk about what's going on in the world.
Always a pleasure, James. Always a pleasure.
Going back to this article, it says 1 in 10 paramedics told the Sunday Times they would quit because of severe delays when handing over patients to hospital emergency departments.
What article are you referring to?
This is an article in Perth Now, the website, which is like the Sunday Times website.
Wow. Well, if people want to quit because it takes them a while to hand over, then I guess that's their prerogative. But it's a great job.
I guess 1 in 10 is a pretty good odds. It's like only 10%. They could be worse for that ambulance service.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wonder where they got that information from, because what have they gone around and asked paramedics, would you quit for this reason? And they've said 1 in 10 people have said yes. Like, they haven't asked me, and there's only a certain number of paramedics in the job.
Yeah.
And
So they asked 10 people and only one person
yeah, maybe
said yes.
maybe one person said they would quit. Maybe that person's a bit disgruntled. Maybe he's getting old and wants to quit anyway.
Yeah.
It does take a while sometimes, but it's you can't blame any one particular area for that, I don't think, unless you're talking about Swan Districts Hospital, in which case you can definitely blame the nurses.
I saw like a paper that said that by 2011 they want to have 98% of people dealt with in the emergency department within 4 hours.
Yeah, they're starting to implement
4 hours
that
is
already.
still a long time.
Well, I think that's from being in the ED to a bed.
Oh, okay.
I think they're trying to.
So just sitting, you've got
clear
like
out
missing
the
a leg,
ED
you sit in the chair until they find you a bed. Like
yeah, no, they've got different timelines for that sort of thing. Like if you come in with chest pain, you have to be seen within sort of 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and then broken arm within half an hour. You know, certain time limits.
crikey, so you have to sit there for half an hour with broken arm.
Well, that's because the thing is, it's not
Or
going to
can
kill
they come
you.
up while you're there? Can they come up and jab you with painkillers?
No, they probably need to give you a bed in case you have a reaction to the painkillers. They can give you like Panadine and stuff over the counter.
Oh, cool.
Have you ever needed an ambulance, James?
No, I'm sure it's only a matter of time, really. I've never been to hospital. I got plastic surgery on my toe, but I only had to go to like a local day surgery place.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah, I have to get them out in October or something. I don't know why. I think they have to let them grow a certain amount before they take them out. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
but most of them are all messed up. I'm hoping I get to keep one. I'm not going to ask if I just have one just to keep.
Yeah, just for a little bit of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really against getting mine out, but now I think my teeth are crossing over a little, and it's impeding on my daily activities.
Oh, really?
It's making me, like you just get a bit more agitated if you have a throbbing tooth all day. You know, like that grumpy alligator.
So are they just breaking through now? Is that what's hurting?
Yeah, it's pity it's not TV. I could show you, but this one, like
I
my
can take a
bottom
photo
left.
if you want.
No, that's gross. My bottom left's coming out a bit sideways, and it's coming through the gum, which really hurts. And when I bite
that
down,
goes away once it comes through. That's just like when you had teeth as a kid. Like it could hurt for a bit.
Yeah, but sometimes I bite down on my cheek and my gum, and
because my teeth at angles, I actually get scars on the back of my cheeks now. It's probably not good.
I want to get them out, but
day.
I don't like the idea of someone putting me to sleep and taking them out.
Yeah,
They're
because it doesn't like 2 out of every 10 people die, not wake up from them. It's like pretty high odds.
I don't think 2 out of 10. That's not very good.
20%.
20% of people who get their wisdom teeth die?
No, just general anesthetic in general.
Oh, no.
They don't wake up.
That's not the odds. It can't be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty risky.
Yeah.
That's why they have locals. Did you watch The Perfect Vagina on TV the other day?
No, I didn't.
That was about, I think we were talking about this
I think
at
we
dinner.
did talk about this the other day.
At dinner, it was a really appropriate topic. But yeah, this girl had her labia cut off on TV. And, is it labia? I don't know. Labia minora, majora, I don't know. And, she's just a local, so she's just sitting there going, ah!
But a local shouldn't hurt.
Yeah, but when they jabbed in the needle into her labia to give her it hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of someone stabbing a needle into my penis. And that I'm freaking out. Like, I don't know what girls like.
Oh, it didn't take long. How long did it take before we started
talking
about vaginas
You're checking your
and
watch.
penises? Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was, when I think about local anesthetic now, I think about that. Because I had local on my toe when I had plastic surgery on my toe, and I could feel like the needles going in.
But
it doesn't hurt, but you can still feel the friction of them.
I had a mole taken off, and I could feel it, and then they're like, "You're all done." And I was like, "Really?" Because I didn't know that they'd done it, but I could feel them just touching.
Yeah.
But I couldn't feel any pain, and they'd scalpeled it out. So
I had like the last year I've been having like $1,000 worth of bloody tooth repair because I was at a nightclub and this girl I know saw me at the other side of the nightclub and she recognized me and ran over to me and jumped onto me and smacked into me, and her nose just went into my tooth and broke the tooth, and so I had to get all this like repair stuff done.
Broke your tooth?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like I didn't snap it, like it just busted the root of it.
Right.
And then it got an infection, and then I had to get the infection fixed. Anyway, it took a year to fix. Just this little thing took a year to fix, and it cost $1,000 or something like that. And but I had to go to like a specialist to do it because a normal dentist couldn't fix it properly, and that's why it took a year, because it took like 4 months to get book appointment in this specialist because they're so busy, and he's probably making so much money, God. And Yeah, but they have like a little camera on their They have a little camera so you can actually see them doing all the drilling and they have like a TV above your screen so you can see the the drill going in, and he's like stuffing stuff into your tool and like all these needles going in, and you can see the whole thing. It was actually, I found it because like the normal dentist didn't have that kind of stuff, so when it sort of removed you, it felt like you're watching TV, so it kind of removed you from the thing, so it actually was a bit less stressful than the actual normal dentist, which didn't have the cameras on. I kind of felt, maybe, I think that's why they have it, maybe it makes people feel like they're watching TV.
I had like a TV on the roof. It was like an aquarium sort of scene, you know, like really high definition fish and stuff.
Yeah, so they're not real fish.
No. Just like feel like it looked like you're looking at an aquarium on the ceiling.
Oh yeah, like so they just stuck a TV on there.
Yeah, it was like just a TV. You could choose that. Or you could choose like a bears documentary, or you just have different like cool stuff up there.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So they gave you remote control. Or they just ask you?
No, I think they just ask you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been to my dentist for a while because he thinks I should get my wisdom teeth out, and I disagreed with him, and now I tend to think he was probably right.
Yeah.
So I should probably go back there.
I figure I'm one of those people who just won't wake up afterwards, so I'm like trying to put it off until at least try and accomplish something. So I'm trying to start this podcast thing. My first dentist, I freaked out because apparently he was in the mafia, in the Perth mafia.
Right.
And I probably shouldn't say that. He's going to come kill me now.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because my dentist, the one that he referred me to, the dental surgeon, the oral surgeon, he's like a big, famous, wealthy man too. And if I told you his last name, you would know it. Like, he's like really well known in Perth.
Oh, so you won't tell me last name?
No, not on the air.
Oh, really?
But he was related to the man I used to work for at Kalis Brothers. So that gives you a hint.
I see. Now, Bree used to work at Kalis Brothers, where I work part-time now.
How are you finding it?
I like working there, but I don't work there very often.
Yeah.
You know, I like just walking down the Leadville, having a job at Leadville, not having to drive anywhere.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You still in the bar?
Yeah, sometimes. I'm like a bus person. I do, anything except waiting. I'm not cool enough to be a waiter. They give that to the girls.
Yeah.
The waiters. All the really like fancy guys. And maybe they're gay. I don't know who's what.
Yeah.
I
find it as soon as you start to
people start talking about
wrong, and then what does it matter anyway, really?
Yeah, exactly. People will talk about it, and I can't, because I'm not paying attention. I don't keep track of it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just like, who cares?
Yeah, unless you're actually trying to date.
But then some people will come up
matter.
to you. The thing about funny bit is like, because some people there work there every day, and I come in like a week later and they haven't seen me, and they start talking about some goss about what's going on. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And so you really fall behind. And someone came up and said, "Hey, I guess those two are going out." And I'm like, "Oh, I thought that guy was gay." And she's like, "Oh, I thought maybe, I don't know." It's really awkward. But
yeah, they don't need the facts to be able to talk about stuff.
Because that guy told me he was gay, so maybe he was just taking the piss, or maybe he's bisexual. I don't know.
Or maybe he wasn't dating that girl. Maybe they're just friends.
Maybe this girl was just like rumor mongering. And she was just told.
Rumour mongering?
Like creating rumours.
Rumour mongering.
Yeah. Is that a word?
You said
I don't know.
rumour mongering.
Maybe.
Oh gosh.
So I just don't say anything. I'm just like nod my head like, yes, maybe they are going out.
Maybe they are. Maybe they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I just come and do my job.
But yeah, it's funny when people just assume you know all this stuff, and then they start talking to you about stuff that you have no idea about what's going on.
Yeah, that's true. So the big party coming up. We can't really tell everyone when and where because they'll come in.
Oh, you're coming?
I'm going to come,
It's J Festival. We're recording this on the 3rd of July. It's J's Festival, all of July. And
Dry July? No.
No, it's the opposite of Dry July.
Opposite of Dry July, J Fest.
I am, although that's probably the only time unless there's any other weird parties going on, only time I'll be drinking. So maybe that wraps up my hard-hitting interview with an ambulance officer.
None of this can be used as evidence against me in a court of law.
Yeah. Thanks, Bree, for coming on. Where can people find you on the internet? Do you have a website?
No, I don't. And you can try and add me on Facebook, but I'd probably reject you unless I'm already your friend, in which case you'll already be on there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You can see me at jimmerish.com, Jimmerish FM. I have now 2.
Yeah, she was.
Feature.
Check out the mocast we did at Transformers. Bree was not a fan of Transformers.
We should do like a post viewing review. I think you can see that on my Facebook page. And it's not a really positive one.
Yeah, Bree didn't like Transformers.
I liked the first one.
You like the first one?
This one I think dabbled with some emotive, intelligent stuff. But then it just got so sidetracked by the big machines fighting.
But that's what it's about. That's why.
No,
that's why they make it. They make Transformers about big machines.
Machines fighting.
The problem, this is the problem. People don't know what they want. Everyone complained about the first one that there was too many humans and not enough robots fighting. And so this one, he's like, okay, fine, I'll put way more robots fighting. Now everyone's complaining, you should have had more story. And I'm just like, well, I don't think the story in the first one was that good to be like, oh, we need more story about Transformers.
Oh, but what I liked about the first one is that the yellow Camaro, was really funny and cute. And then like the guy.
Yeah, they should have more of that.
Like the guy getting to know the car, and then the way they got on together, and then you see the way they transform into. Because I don't think they put enough emphasis on the fact that they're a car that transforms into a machine person, and they just change really quickly. It's like car machine. They should kind of slow that down and go see the wheels
transform
turn
scene
into
in the first one to show it off, and then from then on it's just like, oh, we've seen that before.
When you're a kid and you've got the Transformers, the whole exciting part is the way you move them to make them into it, like the person. And
that's what Campbell says. He hates it because he wishes they were more simple.
Small car to that massive big machine. There's more wheels than there was in the car, and they've got heaps more parts. And I don't think it's very realistic. And I don't like the IMAX cinema.
Yeah, it's too loud.
Regardless of what movie we're watching, it was way too loud. I want these headphones. I'll probably take these headphones with me next time, and just mute the whole thing.
But you will go to back to the IMAX.
No, I won't. I won't go back.
Okay.
Unless I have free tickets, in which case I'll bring headphones.
Okay.
And I'll probably sit right at the back so I don't have to look.
I thought that was the best thing ever, because I hate going to cinema all the time, and they've like turned off the surround sound system, and they don't even have surround sound. This one actually had it going full bore.
Surround sound I can understand, but
don't you ever go to rock concerts? I find going to like pubs, the music's so loud. Like, it's no different. I'd actually rather go to a loud movie than a loud pub.
But if you're trying to listen to a plot line, and like rock concerts aren't metal on metal. Like, that was what was so annoying. I think you went
if they had a movie there that wasn't like Transformers, like whoa, because that's all about being big and loud. If you went to
maybe a normal like musical lovely movie would be.
I don't know if they would ever show them in IMAX.
No.
So anyway. IMAX and Transformers get the thumb down from Bree.
Double thumb down from me.
I get 2 thumbs up. You can find the Jimmerish FM website at fm.jimmerish.com. Yeah, so that's the thing.
Oh, there's something wet on my chair.
What?
My chair was a bit wet. It's okay.
Chair's wet?
Just a little. It's alright. I'll sit forward.
Do you reckon it's leaking?
Maybe it's just cold.
Yeah, it's just cold.
Let's continue.
Because I'm pretty sure they should be dry. Unless we've got a leak in the roof. And that's a bit of a worry.
Unless the rats are peeing on us.
Oh, the rats are peeing. We've got rats in the roof. This is so distracted. I think we should we'll start this off again.